I just rode over to rehearsal. Whoops.
Late morning, drinking heavily.
Sing that might sleep. What is that? Wireless?
Yep.
Oh my god, that is... Alright, that is perfect. Really?
That way.
And it goes right into the...
It goes Bluetooth into here, yeah.
We have to use it because we don't have the chip yet.
Exactly.
Jazz living, is that the question?
Well, you know, the question is, it's all, to me, it always comes down to how are you defining jazz?
Exactly.
Also, you know, things like that always have more to do with words than actual culture.
Exactly.
It has to do with that because it's like saying conversation's dead. You know, jazz as a class of activities.
Yeah. Some couples.
That's why they invented the bass. They invented the bass to get people to talk during solos. You know.
Well, you know, to me, I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about, I forget how it came out. I was thinking about going on the road and playing different gigs, right? That even if you play the Brandenburg concertos, let's say, or you play in Van Morrison's band, or you play in Kenny Loggins' band, there's a certain amount of, you go out, it's rehearsed, you know what's going to happen on this bar, you know what's going to happen on this bar, you know, and there's a certain wonderful confidence in that, you know, that we're well rehearsed, it's a good show, it's tight, it's we know we're going to build, and within those constraints, you know, there's a performance, and you give a unique moment of your time and your interpretation. But when I think of the word jazz, the one thing that differentiates that word from anything else is that you don't know what's going to happen. When you go out and you put yourself in front of an audience, you don't know what's going to happen on bar 7. In fact, you don't know what's going to happen from bar 22 for the next 7 minutes. You know that in about 7 or 8 minutes you're going to come back and play something that you've agreed to play. But there's this wide open, it's open. You know, it's open for us to make it right now in front of you, and we're offering you the opportunity to share that creation with us at this moment in time.
Yeah, it's not even just that it's unknown, that you don't know what's going to happen. It's that you actually set a place at the table for the unknown.
Exactly.
You set that the same way you go, here's a place, here are proper themes, here's our thematic material, here's specific things, here are general concepts, coloristic, secondary things we're going to go for, and then there's just always the unknown, and you plan for it, you count on it. If it doesn't show up, you're disappointed.
Well, and also, how much of a framework you provide the listener and the band. I mean, there's the Art Ensemble of Chicago, and then there's, you know, something that's, you know, like Chick Corea often composes like soli sections and things that there's more ink involved. How much do you provide the band as a composition, or there's some things that it's a bar line, and we have pieces like that take off. Or is it a mood? Are we going to provide just here's the vibe? That counts.
Well, what's cool about what we've been doing, you know, a short time we've been together, you know, it's just what we discussed when we put the band together is to take those forms and decide to not keep it on a stage, but to communicate it to an audience. You know, and in that way, just that attitude alone, it seems to me, since the gigs we played, as far as and also as far as jazz and those groups that were successful in doing it, decided to communicate whatever they played to the audience and not leave it on stage. You know, I think, however esoteric with it may be, you know, I mean, I think probably that 80% of the time, it's probably worked 80 to 85% of the time. You know?
That's a key thing, is that we are constantly communicating to each other.
Yeah, and I think
in order to make that unknown become a reality and become a strong reality, the communication between us has to be just
listening.
We're in the future. We're not even just in the present. We're actually
that's what I'm getting.
Creating the future, and we offer that to the audience.
Yeah,
and we offer them to come in and share that with us, and we're going to communicate that to them.
And I think so far what I've noticed is they're getting it. So even the non-musicians, which is great.
Even the people at the Apple Store kind of got it.
Yeah, the people at the Apple Store got it. Absolutely, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
They walked into it and they go, oh. Cool.
And what was interesting, because this goes back to some of the historical precedents of jazz. I mean, if we're going to go back on other definitions of jazz, has always been one of the things to take contemporary music, contemporary popular music, and reinterpret it. Yeah, the jazzers of the 50s and 60s, up to this day, are still taking standards and playing them again, right, in a new way. Apple Store, we played a Radiohead song, and I saw the guy, right, the alternative rock guy, come in and say, wait a minute, I think I know that tune, and stayed.
Right.
So, is that part of jazz dead? Is the type of communication that we put together as a band, is that dead? I hope not, because to me that's...
I hope not. Clearly not. No, it's not dead. It's
I think it's alive in jam bands. I think it's alive in all sorts of genres.
Well, the Radiohead claims they listened to Bitches Brew before making OK Computer, so it's just a round table, and everyone's allowed to take. It's a feast for everybody to kind of contribute to, and then to take from.
Yeah. It's not even a matter that jazz is dead. It's that what's happening with the music and the way the music transforms and mutates and evolves starts, fitting the box less and less. It starts climbing out of the box, but it's alive and well.